Hey, life designers, welcome to 2020. I'd like to begin this new year of Intentional Tuesdays with a question. What is the role of creativity in your life? If I had to guess, I would say less than 10% of people would say that creativity is front and center in their day to day existence. And I think this is a real tragedy. Our individual lives would be improved. I would go so far as to say I think the world would be a better place if we put more emphasis and priority and more value on creativity in our lives. And I would also like to suggest that non creativity is, in fact, a choice. It's a choice that each one of us who's in the 9 out of 10 is making. So if this sounds interesting to you, then stick with us because we are going to get into it right now. So before I make the case for the importance of creativity, let's just make sure that we are on the same page when we say the word creativity. The root of the word is from the Latin creare, which means out of nothing. I think that most people, when they think of the word creativity, it conjures up thoughts of producing something impressive. Maybe something that could be hung on a wall or something that could be heard in a concert hall. The idea of creativity means producing something that the world can see and that the world will be impressed by. Perhaps that comes in the form of an invention, like an iPhone, or maybe even the cure for cancer. By these standards, it's easy to understand why people don't feel very creative. So what if we are thinking about creativity all wrong? What if creativity isn't about the end product or the end result? What if creativity is actually about the process of getting to that end result? You don't have to produce something that the world falls in love with in order to be creative. You are, in fact, being creative if, through the process of creating the thing, you are being true to yourself, whatever it is you may be creating. To my mind, creativity means that you searched within yourself to discover how something could be, rather than looking to the outside world and being told how something should be. Creativity is when you do something, really when you do anything, from a place of pure, authentic expression. Ask yourself this question: am I capable of pure, authentic self-expression? And if the answer is yes, you are creative. So here is the challenge. For the next week, notice the ways that you allow the outside world to influence you. Your decisions, your actions, your opinions, your belief. Notice the lack of choice that comes with this. Notice the lack of freedom that comes from accepting this level of influence from the outside world. Now, I want you to notice this in every aspect of your life, in your work, in the way that you speak and interact with your spouse, your significant other, or even with your children. Notice the way you interact with or don't interact with strangers. Really take some time to notice the way the world is telling you how things are supposed to be. Notice the way that you tell yourself how things should be, rather than exploring and being curious about how they could be, how they might be. Notice the boundaries that you have constructed around your life. That boundary is the difference between what is possible and what is impossible. Creativity is on the other side of that boundary. In fact, creativity is the way to move through or over that particular boundary. So I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Intentional Tuesdays. This is going to be part one of a 3-part series around creativity. Next week, we will focus on making the case for creativity and really understanding why creativity is important. And the week after that, the final week, will be how do you go about generating creativity. So for this week, we're really just focusing on noticing your relationship with creativity. So hopefully you get a lot out of this challenge. I definitely recommend you dive right in and start doing it. As always, I appreciate your time. I appreciate your attention. I look forward to the upcoming year, spending some time with you. And with that, I wish you all the best and a prosperous journey. Take care.